Gotta love the weather in the southeast. Go from 85 degrees Friday to suddenly 40 degrees on the weekend. But had a lady try to fire her furnace off, and lo and behold, nothing happened. She just called to make sure she could get an appointment for this Monday. However, she was going to have her son drop by, double check, make sure her thermostat batteries were good, make sure the filter was clean. So theoretically, we won't have to look into any of that. However, being that she did not call back to cancel the appointment, we'll assume she still has a problem going on. So we'll stop by, take a look, see what we can get going for her. See what we got going on here. Of course, we'll pull the door off here, and the interlock switch will turn the power off, so we won't actually be able to see what the error code is. But somebody's taped it on, so maybe we will. So we actually have no error code. There's no LEDs on that board. Take our little meter here. Let's see if we have 24 volts here, which we do not. So that could be part of our issue. So next thing we'll do is we'll follow this down. So this should be our L1. So we do have 120 volts to our board. So now we do have it going. I do see an LED back there. It was hiding from me. So now we'll wait to see if it ignites. We have ignition. Check this inducer real quick just to see how much amperage we're pulling. Not quite an amp, 0.96, which I believe is okay. Main blower's on. It is a 120 volt appliance, so it's 5.15 amps for that motor. However, being that it is 120 volts, we would expect higher amperage draw. Let's see, 115 volts. Maximum input is 9.1, so we're within its rating there. It could have been a couple of different things. Oddly enough, as I say, we did not have any kind of display light when we started, which is why we looked down here to see if we actually had power to the board. And from unplugging it, plugging it back in, suddenly everything powered up. So that would tell me a couple of different things. Mostly, if we don't have power here, nothing's going to run. However, we have a lot of these little rollout switches, but they are all auto reset, or manual reset rather. So that doesn't make me think we had any kind of safety trip. I just wonder if we just had a bad power connection here. Oddly, I don't know why that's taped off, but for our purposes it was helpful. We'll just continue watching this for a little bit, and I may take some temperatures inside just to see if we're actually overheating or something, because as I say, some of these, if your main limit goes off, it will cut low voltage, but normally we would still have our indicator light. Strange. One thing we do see, however, just looking through, the filter is a little discolored, I would say. So part of me does wonder whether or not we actually did trip our high limit, which maybe cut power to the board and wouldn't let it run. There again, like I say, that's kind of odd because I did not see any kind of indicator light on that board until we unplugged and plugged our power back in. So part of me feels like, again, maybe a bad electrical connection. There again, it may have overheated. Luckily, she does have a few filters sitting here. As wrong size filter. So I guess we shall find her a correct size filter and be back. Honestly, we've been running stably now for probably about 10 minutes. I did find another filter for her while I was just hanging out, running in and out of the truck. So we're good there. Honestly, what I'm thinking happened is our connection here wasn't quite making connection. I don't know if someone got in here changing the filter, or I see some debris down here where somebody may have had a hog hair type filter in there and possibly got it stuck, tried to clean it out. Maybe they unplugged it. I'm not sure why that's taped off at the same time either, being an interlock switch. So we'll pull this off and just make sure it fires without it, without the tape on there rather. But essentially with no LED light to start with, and all we're doing is just pulled this power, double checked it and split it back on. Makes me believe we just maybe had a faulty connection there. But I may just replace this wire here just to be on the safe side, because that does strike me as a likelihood too, is that connector may be bad. So we'll power this guy down and do that, and I just hit the disconnect switch over there. That is kind of loose, honestly. I think I'll just do this to be safe. Somebody may have been working on it, and that's another thing that makes me think somebody may have been messing around in there. She did say her nephew tries to help her out with it. It would be nice to have a window to see what's actually happening. I do hear it clicking. We'll just confirm that it fires with that interlock switch depressed by the door, because I have seen that happen just as these things get old and things get pressed in, the interlock switch doesn't depress. But I still kind of feel like someone may have been working on it for her. Might have knocked some wiring loose. So I believe in this particular case, that's really all we have going on. So we'll let her know and get out of here. That was kind of a little bit of an interesting one. We did not see any LED lights to begin with, so you know that tells us, hey, we've lost power. However, reaching down, checking the power, we did notice that the interlock switch had been taped off, where someone had obviously had the door off and wanted it to run with the door off for whatever reason. And just checking where L1 comes in from the interlock switch, we did have power there. And upon putting it back on the connector on the board itself, suddenly the board lit up and everything operated. Just looking it over, it does not appear that anything would cut power. Sometimes you will. I think it's Nordyne, Nordyne, where if their rollout switches or something like that goes, it will cut low voltage power to the board. So I thought it might have been something possibly like that, but those were all manual set rollout switches, so you know, they wouldn't reset themselves. The main limit there is not wired through in that direction. The circuit board itself, just looking at the door, it does proclaim, hey, if it's continuously off, then check the power, which you know we did as we were troubleshooting. The only thing I could think is that Spade clip, it it felt a little loose to the touch just putting it back on the board, so we went ahead and replaced that clip. Made sure the thing worked with the interlock switch not taped down, and it seems to be happy. I did see some hog hair after we got looking in it. They make affectionately called hog hair filters. It's real thick spun fiberglass essentially that you can use for a washable, reusable type filter that you can cut yourself. Did see some of that down in the bottom of the unit, so it makes me wonder if perhaps she had an issue with the filter getting sucked in, and possibly while we had the wrong size filters up there, they were trying to figure out what to do about it. And I wonder if they had maybe hit that L1 wire down there and loosened it up, or it could have just been a faulty connection to start with. However, we fired it off, let it run for a few minutes, everything seemed good. I actually cycled it on and off a few times while I was talking to her about it, waiting to see if anything would go wrong, and while I was looking for a filter for her that would fit. So all in all, I believe that was all it was. It was just a bad power connection to that guy. But we'll move on and get some coffee at Racetrack here and see what else we can find to do today.